Alright. At least do the shimmy yachting. Come on. Da 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 da.
So again, whoever starts first, the other person will go first for questions.
Can you use this one? I think Jacob's head didn't come.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm a first year from 6th College, undeclared, but probably going into sociology or psychology. So a little bit about me. I'm a second generation Filipino American, and living here in America my entire life, I feel like I've had like a disconnect between me and my roots, like where my parents come from and my grandparents and our heritage. And so I definitely felt that it was very important for me to be in touch with my culture. And so by thinking that, I have immersed myself in trying to be more knowledgeable about our culture. And some of the things I've done in my past include being involved in Filipino folk dance for a few years back in my hometown and performing, and then while also being holding leadership positions in my Filipino club back in high school. And through this, I feel like I've really felt really empowered and inspired by the community I've built with the many people that I've met throughout my time.
Good evening, my name is Ashley Ruelas, and I'm a first year here, and I go to Marshall, and my major is biochemistry and cell biology. The reason I am running for co-cultural coordinator is because of my KP story and my growth as a person. Coming from the Bay, I was very far from home compared to people from here. So coming here, I was very intimidated. In the beginning, I stayed with my high school friends, hung around them, because that's what you do. You hang around people you know, because that's what's familiar to you. So when I was introduced to KP, I found people that I really connected with very fast. And my growth over time, I've been part of the VIP fam, and I've grown so close to them. And not only that, but I've had people that have been my femtor and mentor that I actually look up to and call kuya and ate, even though that might not have been a thing of the past. But these are people that I truly look up to, and they inspire me and have helped me emotionally, socially, and so many aspects of my life. This correlates to why I want to be Coco, because these lasting bonds that I have established is what PCC has built over time. PCC helps build a community. It helps build these lasting relationships for people that you look forward and want to spend time with. And I feel like that, even before PCC has happened, that has really inspired me to run for this position. And then once PCC did happen, there's no other feeling that you can have when you're in that unity circle and you do the song baksak. That moment is pure joy. Even though we were so tired with midterms and whatever, that went out the window. Those 2 days you were filled with happiness, and it didn't matter what other responsibilities you had, because in that time that was the moment you were filled with so much happiness.
Oh, he's here.
Hi, I'm Dane. So as a Coco, you're more of a guide and support system for the OCC and the creative team over somebody who's making the actual creative decisions for PCC. Because this next year is going to be the 25th annual and the silver anniversary. What do you perceive to be your greatest success and the legacy that you're going to leave behind for the community? And what do you perceive to be your greatest challenge?
Okay. So my greatest success that I hope to see is that there will be more people that are willing to do PCC, more retention of upper heads and undergraduates. An idea that I had was that since it is the 25th anniversary, I wanted alumni to do a featured dance, and I didn't want them, so we didn't have to come down to these long practices. You know how in flash mobs you watch a video online, alumni can do that and come back, because that'll help retain people. Because I know the day of our second PCC, the second day, the creator of VIP came, and you go to these things, even though we were so tired after the show, we wanted to take a nap, but you go to spend time with the upper heads in your fan. So that correlates because then more people will want to come out if they see their upper heads in their fan come out. And then a struggle that might happen is that there might not be that feeling of community instantaneously, which has been like a problem recently, that people didn't feel that sense of community immediately. But I think that we can overcome that by showing like a video of the process of this past PCC and showing like not just the dances, not just the actual show, but the process behind that, the long practices that we've had together, the pictures and videos, and I think like that will be a chance to overcome that.
For me, what I hope to be out of the biggest success out of next year's PCC is that we can just like, get as many people as we can to make this a great production. This year there was like over 100 plus people, but I feel like we can like even retain even more people within the space and having even more people participate in it, and also like getting the word out more into the public and publicizing it, because it is the 25th. Like, you want it to be like a really big success, and I guess that ties in with the fear, like a challenge that maybe because like it is the 25th, people may have like a lot of expectations of it, and it may not live up to those expectations. But with all the dedication and hard work that I've seen through this past PCC process, I know that like by collabing together and just working hard and committing to those long practices and going through all the struggles together, we'll be able to overcome it and produce the best show possible.
I'll just go and I'll go after you.
How do you view OCC's role in the PCC process, and how will you utilize it?
So OCC's role, I know it's the official cultural cabinet, so they oversee numerous things for PCC, such as like programs, and the Our Story and takes pictures during the practices and events and for our photo shoots. And then there's also the modern choreographers, locos, and several other things. I feel like their role is very important, obviously, because they're in charge of like a lot of the behind scenes that many participants may not see, and I feel like I kind of want to make their roles and their tasks like I guess like more transparent to the community, and see like all the hard work that they put into, and like especially like with costumes too, because I know like it's like a lot of fabric, a lot of sewing, a lot of time and hard work that's put into it, and yeah, just like making it more transparent to everyone to see all the work that we do.
So I think for me, I would want the OCC to be more present in the space. So maybe like when they're doing costumes, maybe help do costumes like at practice, because I know like my SB, so my special buddy, she was in OCC, and like when we did our little SB hangout, she came to practice and she was like, oh, I've never been here before. She was like, I wish I like came before so I could like actually see what's happening. And so I think it would be nice to utilize their work, but also by having them work within the space, within the community that has been building, because there's like a little bit of a distance there, and so I think that their role could be integrated at the same time practices.
Given the fact that AS cut traditional funding and KP gets UPCC gets 16,000 from that, and essentially you can only get 9,000 maximum, which is basically a huge chunk of your budget gone. What fundraising ideas do you have, and how are you gonna raise money for PCC? Given that one, it's the 25th, and two, like it's the most expensive event?
I think that an idea that could happen is like host workshops, because I know like with like modern dancing, they host workshops of like dancing, and so like you pay like $5 to like learn a dance, and I think that people can learn from like K-mod or cultural dances, so that like is more like PR of our Filipino history within the UCSD space, while also like helping fundraise for the 2020.
One idea I have to help fundraise for the next year's PCC, since we are having budget cuts, is having like a conference that will encompass the multiple schools like within the SoCal area, similar to like SD Pasta or the one that UC Irvine is going to be having pretty soon. So, because I feel like as KP we have we're a pretty progressive group, and I feel like we have a lot to offer and to share that many other colleges may not have or be aware about. And I feel like there'll be also a good opportunity to spread more awareness about the culture, and also what like Ashley said about having like dance workshops, and then also having like critical dialogue, which can incorporate like the political pillar.
Every year there's a new creative team, new PCCers, and new direction. How will you educate yourself and others on the stories of the past PCC?
Can you repeat the last part?
Say it louder, please.
How will you educate yourself and others on the stories of the past PCC this year?
So since every year there is a new creative team, I guess the best way to educate educate the people participating in next year's is just like remembering like all the good times that we have and all the experiences and things that we've learned from the previous PCC. Like maybe like educate them on like, oh yeah, this year's PCC, this was kind of like the storyline, and this is like the moral that we've gained out of it. But then also just like educating them, or like spreading, like letting other people, especially like first years who are going to be new to the space, about like all the experiences that the upper heads had when they experienced their PCCs, and knowing that like, this is a big event that a lot of people look forward to, and just because it may be under new direction every year, that it shouldn't be like a hindrance or something that should be negative to be looked upon, just because it made like every year every PCC is going to be a different road.
Okay, so to integrate the past PCCs for the new creative team, I think an idea could be like to have like a lunch, like because I know for Board there's like a transition retreat, but maybe just like have a little lunch where like they go back and forth of what has worked and what hasn't worked within the past creative team and for the new creative team, because I think sharing the new ideas and bouncing back off of each other, that can help create the best possible outcome. And then to spread awareness, or not spread awareness, but like educate people of the past PCCs within like a GBM or like within the KP space, could be like to post a link of the past PCC, like a small like short snippet, because I know like before I didn't know what the past PCC was about. Like I like had to YouTube it myself and like try and find it. But if we like personally hand them the link and stuff like that, then they can see what the past PCC has been like.
Third, fourth. What's number 4?
In what ways are you going to educate the KP space with the Filipino cultures and values? And how would you make it empowering and meaningful?
Okay, so an idea I had is that in the past there has been Filipino classes such as like Chi to GE, and every year it could be different. And so what like my future plan would hope or possibly be is to do like a short seminar or like have continuous workshops that teach like traditional dancing, because I know that's something that I have had personal experience with. That's why I was a choreographer, and I feel like I could utilize that in the space and help teach others about different dances that they do, and like if I do like a class or like a workshop, like if I do a class or a workshop, like that doesn't force people, or it allows people who don't have time for PCC to learn dances that they wouldn't have time for if they did PCC.
Can you repeat the question?
In what ways are you going to educate the KP space with the Filipino cultures and values? And how would you make it empowering and meaningful?
Okay. So one idea that I have, like a new idea for next year, is that, okay, first off, so again, I'm a second generation Filipino American, and growing up in the household, my parents never like really spoke Tagalog or the other dialects that they know, and as like a sort of way to like assimilate into the American culture, just like speak English. But then I definitely feel like saddened by that because I never like got the chance to like really know the language of my heritage. And while we do offer classes like Tagalog 112 and 132, those are more like designed for heritage speakers and people who have been like had a lot of exposure to the language. So something that I may want that I will want to implement next year is maybe like having holding workshops or having culture corners where we